All right, virtual test ride 2023 BMW electric scooter. This is the new CE-04. Really fantastic avant-garde style machine. And of course, a new addition to the E Squad that's coming out from every manufacturer right now. Now you slide on, nice and easy, step through area. All right, it is a keyless setup, so you just got to turn the power button on. I do have the key fob in my pocket, so it does have a proximity like most anything else. It's got the keyless ride. BMW, make life a ride, comes up. That's your battery situation. It's got 83% left. We're at about 62 miles. It's a total going to be right around a 70 to 80 mile range. They say 80, but I always like to give a little bit of a buffer here on it. Okay. In order to start the machine, yes, you do have to start it just like a traditional motorcycle. You do have a start button right down here on the left hand on your starter button, and you're going to grab a hold of that brake, and then that's going to be able to engage it. Just a quick touch and watch that screen. She comes to life. Now, this does have the Ride Mode Pro. Okay, that is an addition from the factory. You have to order it or have it done as an accessory, and it gives you a fourth option. Traditionally, these have only got 3 ride modes to it. Okay, right now it's in the Eco mode. The Eco mode is going to have the least amount of power with the most amount of regenerative braking. That's going to be whenever you let off of the throttle, you're going to feel that engine braking, so to speak, and that's charging your battery. Your mode, going to click that one more time here and bring it up and put it into the rain mode. Now watch, it's going to change. Your charge is going to drop down a little bit, so you don't have any chance, less chance, I should say, of your rear engine breaking loose because of the resistance whenever you're slowing down. And of course, your power is going to come down as well. Come back over to your mode button. Double tap takes you to the road mode, which is going to be your standard performance mode on it if you don't have the Eco Mode Pro, or the Ride Modes Pro, I should say. Sorry about that. Again, you've got very minimal charging with your optimal power, but whenever you bring it up, hit it again to the Dynamic Road Pro, and again, that is the accessory setup where you now all of a sudden you have full power on the right arc and full charge on the left hand arc, which is going to give you everything you want. Flashing lights and everything are letting you know that it does have anti-lock brakes and that it is ready to roll. So whenever we twist the throttle, even though there's no sound, she is going to light up and get us down the road. Shall we? And as promised, no sound. The only sound is that of the wind and my voice. Then we're going to start off with this one back here in the warehouse district and then take it around town. It's a scooter, not a touring bike, so there's no need to really hit the interstate. The power is immediate. There's no lag, twist and go. Of course, no gears, just a single speed transmission, a CVT style. Uh, And wow, as soon as you let go of that throttle, you can feel that regenerative braking. I went to go grab a hold of those brakes, and the charging system, just that regeneration, it really does the trick. Again, we're going to let off the throttle a little bit, and that's going to be very little use for your brakes unless you're getting into a panic situation, because you just adjust your throttle control, and it's really going to slow you down as well as do the speeding up, of course. Suspension wise, it doesn't seem really bad. A lot of bumps back here. I mean, you got a lot of heavy vehicles that are coming through. But the suspension on this one does work out pretty nicely. You can hear that telltale sign you're on an E vehicle with the whine of the electric motors. Nice big bump there. All right. Now, the top speed on this thing is hits right around 75 miles an hour, and it posts right at 42 horsepower, just under 54 foot-pounds of torque, I believe. So here we are at 24 miles an hour, 20. Let's go from 20 and give it a quick jump, shall we? Wow, feel that. And just like that, you're at 50. That Dynamic Road Mode Pro, and as soon as you let off the throttle, it brings you right back down to 30. The control that you get over this vehicle just from throttle control is amazing. Now, Ride Mode Pro is also going to have the dynamic anti-lock braking systems to it. So whenever you go to lean down into a turn, it's going to be more sensitive with your braking, especially whenever you're coming through a situation like this here. Scroll through, because remember, they don't hear you. And That's one thing on an e-bike you do have to be a little bit more cautious. You do not have the noise on traditional motorcycles to let people know that you're around. So a little bit more caution might be necessary whenever you're out there messing around. You know, effortless it is to ride. A wide throttle, so you got a lot of area to pull on that. So a secondary grip, you might have to adjust to be able to go down on it. But here we are cruising at 45 miles an hour with ease. Um, Again, we're on dynamic, and you can see you're still at 82%, 58 miles left, so we've done right about 2 miles here. And overall, what a fun little machine. No gears, you know, again, just letting the regen do its thing. As soon as I let off the throttle, it's almost like an automatic braking system in the way the battery regeneration works. And man, is it fun. Really neat. And again, super easy to use. I didn't have to touch a brake yet. I have not had to touch the brakes. And that just makes this thing so interesting. I can imagine it would get you a little bit overconfident. But again, I don't even have time to touch the brakes whenever I was slowing down for those railroad tracks. As soon as you get off the throttle, it slows you down to wherever you want it to be. Again, throttle control has never been more prominent than it is on electronic vehicles, especially whenever you've got the regenerative braking set up. Again, that regen is going to use the resistance in your rear wheel on your deceleration to charge your batteries. And of course, you're not going to be able to charge up fully. That's perpetual motion, and those things just don't exist, unfortunately, yet. But it's as close as we can get. All right. And again, I have not touched the brake, and I've come down to practically an absolute dead stop here. All right. Brake touch. Now, whenever you notice, I'm not putting my feet down, and I've dropped down to like 2 miles an hour. The static energy on an electronic vehicle, because you don't have to use the clutch or RPM levels to kick it around, is a little bit different. And so you can go a little bit slower with ease than you can with a combustion style motor. Now, whether that's something of interest to you or not, who knows? But I find it to be a little interesting. Wow. Now, I would imagine whenever you mess with the settings a little bit here with your different ride modes, you're going to have a lot less regenerative braking. So you're not going to have to be able to count on that for, uh, you know, whatever you, instead of touching the brakes. It's going to differ with each ride mode. Good throttle response. We're going to use it, see how well we can get out in traffic here. Stay on the inside lane and light her up. Wow. Just like that, you are at 55 miles an hour without hesitation. She just automatically gets up and goes. This is not your typical scooter. Smooth, quiet, effortless. The riding position is a little different for somebody like me because I'm used to more traditional motorcycles, but it is quite comfortable. The handlebars pull back a little bit more than I would normally like. I'm, a traditional motorcyclist. I like more of a straight arm feel, but overall, super comfortable. I mean, you could just really ride this thing all day, or at least for the full 57 miles that the battery has left before you'd have to charge it up. And of course, for all the information as far as charging and battery systems, check out the Spotlight video that's soon to follow. Well, here we are, back at BMW Motorcycles of Jacksonville, and I guess this will continue. And I guess this will conclude our test ride.